say that
Oh, cue the song.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. So many people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything. I promise.
I have a question for Selena Gomez. I wonder if she knows the answer to this. How do you think the cartels and every other group of organizers gets these illegal immigrants across the border?
Ah,
They
man.
they extort the hell out of them and charge them exorbitant amounts of money. What do you think they do to the women and young girls who can't afford to pay these exorbitant fees to cross the border?
Yeah.
What other thing do they have that they could probably barter to use as payment?
Yep.
Yeah, think about that one for a minute. And notice how I said women and young girls.
Yep.
So their lives are in danger just trying to come here legally.
Tom
And
Holland,
I
the real
really want
boys
y'all to
are.
think about that. So pick your battles. Look, I'm not in the White House, but here's how I would fix immigration, right? Illegal immigration, because obviously most of these people are coming here. I'm just talking about the ones that are trying to go somewhere that's safe, right?
Hmm.
They come in here legally, but they're coming here with not bad intentions. I'm talking about those, right? We know the majority of where they're coming from are Central American countries that are destabilized and have struggling economies. I personally believe that you need to go to those countries and say, look, fix your problems, or we will fix them for you, and we will charge you to fix them for you, and you will
Right.
pay. That's my suggestion. But that might be considered a little bit too aggressive, and that's probably not why I'm in the White House.
Yeah. Gonna talk about that real quick, but there was a state that was offering a reward for information. I think it was just a bill, but it was introduced, and they were talking about like giving a cash reward for people that if it leads to an arrest. And I think partly that needs to happen of some sort, like because you need citizens to kind of tell people like whenever somebody commits a crime, they have Crime Stoppers. If you see this person committing a crime, call this anonymous number. Like I don't understand where all of a sudden we are not calling out the hypocrisy in all of this where people have committed the crime that's a felony in this country and they're just being it's not deemed a crime. Like crime has gone up, and whenever liberals try to have this conversation, well, those aren't really crime. No, it is a crime. So you're not going to be able to tell us that, hey, we can look past this and it's not a big deal. Like here, let me tell you this: if you want people to get over it or look the other way, and then you need to start decriminalizing a lot of things, though. Okay, like men, this is your thing. Okay, what happens if you don't pay your child support? There's a whole slew of things, but what's the one thing that you do not want to happen to you? You're going to jail. You don't pay your child support, you're going to jail. Like, don't worry about like getting hit on your credit or a lien or whatever. You're going to jail. So you don't pay child support, and that's considered, I think, I want to say it's a misdemeanor or something, or depending on the offense. But whatever the case is, like you're going to jail. Like you don't complete like whatever classes, like you get a DUI and you don't complete those classes or whatever it is, you're going to jail. You're attacking a misdemeanor and on to you. So how come we don't have those conversations where all these other offenses that people deem like, hey, these aren't really crimes, but you will be held criminally. But when it comes to like letting illegals into the country, and regardless of if they've never committed a crime, I don't care, or committed an additional crime to the crime of coming into the country, you're going to jail. You don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail. That's
Real
Wesley
quick,
Snipes how that
with the
works.
child support, real quick, let me just add something. You know what else people who are behind on their child support can't do? They can't leave the damn country.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
no,
man.
I went down a rabbit hole to see like can a non-US citizen can they request child support? Yes, they can. Because in this great country of ours, we make sure the child support system works efficiently and it has all the ability to go after people, whether they this is a crazy thing. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen, and the United States will work with you to get child support out of someone, whether they're a U.S. citizen or not a U.S. citizen in the United States, of course. But if you're an illegal immigrant and and somebody's trying to get child support out of you, it's actually a little bit tricky because it's like, well, we can't enforce immigration laws, and it's just difficult trying to like get them to show up in court. It's a whole slew of reasons why they can't go after it. But yo ass, like men, again, most men have to pay child support, or they're the ones generally paying the child support. Yeah, the illegals have more rights than you when it comes to child support, or when it comes to like just laws in this country that you don't get the benefit of the doubt of. Like, you get into a fight, you're probably gonna go to jail, like in most cases. But if you're an illegal, not a big deal. We got the church, we got the schools. They're protecting people. We got city leaders organizing. Like, this is RICO on like a national level, where they're telling people where they can go. They will not do that for you. They're snitching on you. They had like oh boy, Tampon Timmy in the great state of Minnesota. He set up a hotline to snitch on people if they're not wearing their masks back during the the COVID days. Like, he set up a snitch line for that stuff. This blows my mind that people are not equally upset about this stuff, or even upset about this like to a higher level, because you cannot pick and choose what laws you want to follow, especially for a segment of people that came into this country. They knew what was going to happen if they get caught, and they still chose to stay here. You knew Trump. I mean, even when Trump got elected, I don't know why you didn't leave the country then. You knew Trump said he was going to deport your asses, and you still stayed in this country. But you know what? People got to find out the hard way. People got to figure out, like, hey, I'll see what happens. Well, now you catching a flight on a big cargo airplane back to your damn whole country.
Funny you mentioned Tim Walz, because he just came out today and basically admitted that the entire Democratic Party is exhausted and fatigued trying to figure out why they lost. I don't know why they're exhausting so much effort trying to figure that out when it's obvious, but okay.
They're idiots.
Back to the subject at hand. I don't want to come off like a total jerk with this subject. I realize there are a lot of countries where people need help and are struggling. I realize there are a lot of kids who don't deserve this and didn't ask to be born into this. They're in
Mhm.
countries that are run by gangs and dictators and socialists who don't really want to see their people prosper to the extent that they do. I get that. But maybe someone can answer this question for me. Where's the line between I care about this and I got to make sure everything is good on my side first? Like, where is that line? Because it seems like no one can find it correctly. You can't go too far in either direction. But I have a humanitarian responsibility to my fellow man. I get that, but it doesn't come in the form of open borders. I gave a
Facts.
solution. I gave a solution. I didn't sit here and complain without giving a solution like most of y'all tend to do. Y'all just want to complain about stuff.
Yeah, and then people still just got to get more involved. You got to start picking up the ICE number. Maybe I'll drop it in the episode in the description. But you have to do your part as an American, because when you allow people into this country to kind of do whatever they want and take up resources, and they have no financial, or no, I mean, they don't pay any taxes, but they're getting tax paying services. You have an obligation as a U.S. citizen to report that nonsense. Like, I don't know why people want to say like, "Hey, this is not a big deal," but this is a big deal. These are these people, and crazy thing is, these people are actually being exploited by a lot of these Democrat led cities. They're being exploited because they're getting these kickbacks from all these city resources, from all the liberal elitists that want to keep these certain types of people in this country, because they need to use them for either voting situations, like expand the voting in certain states, which Biden tried to do. He tried to move illegals into red states so they can tip the scales when it comes voting time. There was even conversations for Biden trying to give a lot to Americanize a lot of these illegals so they can vote in the upcoming election, which I guess that's how they probably thought they were going to get the 20 million short votes that didn't show up for Kamala, but they did show up for Biden. So at the end of the day, like, you got to do what's in the best interest of your family and also in the best interest of your country, and because that should mean something. You should be proud that our country is upholding the laws when it comes to like people coming into this country. Because I tell you this, you can't go over to China and do this. You can't go over to Russia and do anything like this. You can't go over. You can't even do this in Australia. Like in Canada, show is not going to let y'all
Right.
just show up there. So
Yep.
it's a wrap.
We seem to be the friendliest country in that regard, but that's going to be changing fairly soon.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
And
changed.
and my heart goes out to everybody in those Central American and South American countries that are struggling. Mexico's economy is actually better than people give it credit for. They do have trouble with gangs in certain areas, but my heart goes out to y'all seriously. But it's funny. We keep saying we don't want the U.S. to police the world and be involved in the world, but in this particular instance, for some reason, we do.
Yeah,
It's really weird.
yeah, weird. All right, next topic.